Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here in Foley Square in Lower Manhattan. Now, normally at this time, we'd be covering the Trump trial, and that'll be true for the next weeks, however long as it goes. People of the state of New York versus Trump, just up the street here. But today, being the end of Passover, the trial is taking the day off, although the courts are open. So we'll be back in the Southern District of New York Courthouse covering today. There's an ongoing trial, kind of nasty, a urologist named Paduch, accused of abusing many of his young charges. Very bad. We've been writing about the cases, and we got some things unsealed and became so disgusted that we weren't covering it, but we're going to cover it today. There's also a SIPA hearing on Senator Menendez, current senator. He's not going to be running for the Democratic line, but he says if he's exonerated, and the trial will be starting May 13th. If he's exonerated, he claims he's going to run as an independent. In any event, there's a SIPA hearing today. SIPA is the Confidential Classified Information Procedures Act, and believe it or not, Inner City Press had something of a win on that. We got the transcripts of Joshua Schulte, CIA leaker. His SIPA hearings have been ordered to be unsealed, although they haven't been yet, as so often happens. We also have an appeal in the Second Circuit behind me of the sealing of the sentencing letters of Carl Sebastian Greenwood of the OneCoin crypto scam. But shameless promotion. Over the weekend, immediately after the completion of the Trump trial week, with David Pecker on his fourth day of the National Enquirer on the witness stand, cross, redirect, recross, we put out a book, believe it or not. It's about 100 pages written. I think the format that this is why I did it. It's also an audiobook. So there's a lot of talk about it. In fact, Sunday morning TV here was largely consumed by it and the Gaza protests. But I think it gives as much as I could do, a view of what's actually been taking place in the case. So one could check it out. Now, the United Nations, we continue to cover them. Speaking of Gaza, total failure up there. And they banned the press that asks about it. It's true. They're virtuous signaling, which would be fine if they were actually saving lives anywhere. But whether it's Ukraine, whether it's Gaza, whether it's Sudan, which is a largely ignored slaughterhouse, they've failed everywhere. Antonio Guterres is the current Secretary General, the worst yet. Worse than the Nazi, Karl Waldheim. Maybe we'll leave it at that, given that it's Passover. Karl Waldheim. Okay. Inner City Press. Check it out. It's called Trump Trial Pecker, and you can find it on Amazon and Audible. To be continued.